Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name's Carrie, and I'm a full-time trader in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin, and I threw in link. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just the way that I see the market. It's getting down to the wire to join the Discord and learn my system. When my course comes out, there won't be the option to learn my system in the Discord. So take advantage of it before the course comes out. Okay, we're going to go over two indicators that I've gone over before, but we're going to take a look at them again and update. The first one is called the Gaussian channel. It's a volatility band type channel. And what I've done here is I had to squeeze it in so you could see. But what I've done is measured the drops when we came across the mid-green line. So when we came across the green line and it turns red, we drop out the bottom. The first drop was 68%. This drop back here is the only drop, which actually I didn't measure that one. 69%. Okay? So when we came across the green line, dropped out the bottom 69%. Then it was pretty close to 69%, 62%, 54%. Now we're going to get in a little closer here, because of course we want to know what's going on where we're at. So I have measured if we were to drop 60%. Now it could be that we drop a little less than that, of course, but we are obviously underneath the midline. Every time we have ever gone underneath the midline, we've dropped out the bottom. So the chances of us dropping out of here are pretty high. But a 60% drop would take us right into the top of our 20K bull run. It would keep us out of our potential wave one, and it would, let's see, potentially bring us in right to the 0.5 retrace, which is fine for a fourth wave. We would be okay. It may be also that we hold the 382. Maybe we don't drop quite 60%, but it's very highly likely that we do drop down to the support at the 20K bull run. Because if we lose the 30K mark, there's not a lot of support in between. Okay? So that is something to think about, and to think about potentially drawing a line in the sand of where your line is. The other indicator we're going to take a look at is called the golden ratio multiplier. We've looked at this before. We're going to look at it again. If you notice these tippity tops here, the first one or the first two hit the orange line. The second top hit the yellow. Third top hit the green. The idea here is every top hits the next level down. This top I don't count, because if we're counting this as a wave one, we wouldn't count this top. But the next top that we've hit is blue. So we need to consider that this may be a top. It may be. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a top and we're crashing to zero. Okay? But every time we've made a top, we've come out the bottom of the 618, which is this orange. Made a top, came out the bottom. So it's highly likely that we're going to come out the bottom of this orange 618. Maybe we hold the top of the 20K bull run. Each time we came out, we didn't come out of it significantly. Okay, it was just a dropout, a dropout, a dropout. So hopefully it's going to do the same thing here, or it should if history is going to repeat itself. This is called golden ratio multiplier. Very interesting indicator. Okay, Bitcoin on the daily. We hit our heads on resistance. As you can see clearly here, we are sandwiched between resistance and support. Hopefully, we can hold this support and push upwards. If we lose it, like I said in my last video, we do have a lot of support underneath here. It tapers off as it goes down, but there's still support there. If we lose that, well, the next support I see is filling this gap and coming down to 23K. We lose that, we're going to fill the next gap and come down to the top of the 20K bull run. As you can see, this is where we had a prior degree fourth before our higher degree fourth. These are both fourth waves. Okay, now a higher degree fourth, if this is all a higher degree fourth, it should hold the prior degree, but it can come down to the lower prior degree, but it can't really lose that one. That would be like the last, line in the sand. So if we lose the top of the 20K bull run and come down to the next support, we are definitely going to come into our potential wave one. As you can see right here, big support. I don't think we'd ever break through that. Okay. Worst case scenario, I feel that would hold. There's a lot of support there. Okay. Now, I'm not saying we're dumping all the way down there. I'm just showing you what each support is and where the gaps are still lying. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the daily. Let's turn these off. Get a cleaner chart. In all of my videos, I talk about zones. They are so important. To learn more about them, join the Discord. There's multiple videos about ranges, zones, transitions, everything. Now, we wanted to hold between 40 and 50 because that is the bullish zone to hold if we want to transition. Well, we've lost it. So it means that this potential transition that we were trying to make has failed at this point. The only way that we're going to try to transition again is we're going to have to push up above 70, peek our heads above it, come back down, hold 40 to 50, and push back up above 70. In my last video, I talked about this, and I pretty much talk about it every video because it's so important. When we were in a good run, as you can see, we hold that range from 40 way above 70. That's the bullish range. And ever since this top, we have been in the bearish range, which is 70 on down to 0. We are going to remain here until we transition out. And the way to transition out is pushing above 70, holding 40, pushing above 70 again. And until we do that, we're in the bearish zone, unfortunately. Okay. All right. We still have triangle count. Now, if it can hold this wave and use it as a 3-wave move, it can push up and make this a WXY and get up there for the D. What would happen on the daily is this move would potentially push us up above 70. The E move would hold 40, and then we would push out of here above 70 when we push up for the big 5th wave. And as we're making 5th wave, we would trend in the bullish zone, just like we did back here. I'm going to move my face. Forgot to do that. Sorry about that. All right. So if we're going to make triangle, we've got to hold this as a B wave and push up. Otherwise, we come down, we hit this trend line. This triangle is going to be invalid. We can't touch it again. We can't move C all the way over here like this because we've already got a touch. And we really can't move our trend line down much. Okay. So the only thing we could really do is if this came down like this, is call this a WX, and we'd need to make 3 waves here for Y. But I don't like it. It would end up being almost a descending triangle. So honestly, we really need to hold and push up or we're going to lose triangle. And I talked about RSI and the fact that true triangles, you need to be able to draw these contracting lines in the RSI. And when this move made bearish divergence, it ruined our chances of being able to draw the contracting trend lines in RSI. But can we still make a triangle? Sure, we can. It just makes it less probable that it's a true triangle. Okay? I don't mean to sound so bearish. It's just we are quite bearish at the moment. Okay? The other count that I'm very partial to is the WXY count. Now it's assuming that X is either done and we made the 3-wave move, or X is going to try to get more complex. And we will go over when we get in the lower time frame how it can make it more complex. But as it stands now, this is a corrective move. Okay? There's nothing about it at this point that's bullish. So we're either going to make X bigger and come down, or we're going to get very lucky and get up there for the triangle. Or X is done, and we are on our way down to complete Y leg. Okay? In the last video, I talked about the diagonals. At this point, I feel diagonals are invalid. We came down too far in the 4th wave. Now, yes, you can pull this down like this, and it's somewhat still valid, but we can't roll over again. We've got to push up for the 5th now. We've got to do it. And really, in my eyes, it should have held this upward look. Okay? But it's got really like one last chance, and it's got to push up now. If we roll over and we come down to this lower support, diagonals are completely off the table in my book. All right, let's talk about the alternate lower count that could potentially get us up for the triangle or a bigger X wave. I'm going to make it as simple as possible. We have this wave coming down that looks very much like it's an A, a B, and a C wave. It's hard to make it a C wave, but I can finagle it. But if it doesn't hold the 2.236, it will come too deep to be an ABC, where we can put this B leg here and push up for triangle. Okay? This is first option. But we've got to hold the 2.236 sitting at 39,000. Okay? If we lose it and come deeper, I will be looking at this as a middle move for the B. Either a 3, 3, 5, or 3, 3, 3, however it wants to go about it. But we're going to be watching every one of these fib levels for the bounce that we want. Which one it's going to use, I can't say. Now, we do have some support coming in here, but as you can see, it tapers off. It can break the bottom of here. I talked about this in prior videos where it did this back here in the other bull run right here. Okay. We were in a potentially fourth wave. We were consolidating sideways. It broke the bottom, swept these lows, and up came the candle. Okay. This is what it would do here. The B would sweep these lows, get everybody short, and then here would come candle. Now this would still be an X wave. It could be bearish and get stuck on this support and become a running flat, or it could be quite bullish and be a big wave. But it would invalidate triangle if we sweep the lows. It's going to invalidate triangle if we lose the bottom at potentially 34,500. We really don't want to lose these lows here. We want to stay above it to push up for triangle. But I want to warn that it can come all the way down to 30K and push up and use this as a middle wave. Okay? Please remember that and watch out for it. All right? So as of right now, we have a lot of bearish counts and really only one bullish, and that is the triangle. Okay? I don't see this as a wave 1 and all of this a 2. I just don't. Okay? Now, invalidation, if you're still looking at it that way, is of course not until we break this low. But everybody knows that's been watching my channel why I don't think that this is a 1 and all of this a 2. It didn't hit the right fib extensions. Even if we call this a little truncated fifth in there, it's still missing a wave. And 2s don't last this long, usually. Okay? But breaking 33,000 would be complete invalidation for this being some kind of 1 wave. Okay? All right, let's move over to Link. Link has a beautiful count. And looking at it, it's telling us a story. We have a 1 and a 2. All of this is 3. Highest peak on RSI is right here. This is telling us that that's the third wave. We pulled back for a fourth, and this is a fifth. The inner count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This third wave hit a perfect 1.618. This fifth wave hit a perfect 2.236. Now, we don't have another 1 behind here. And this is not a 1, guys. That's too small. This is the 1, or all of this is the 1. Okay? A higher degree 1 will not be smaller than a subdegree 1. So this is not a 1, 2, 1, 2. This is either all 1 or it started over here. So we don't have another 1 to compensate for this to be another fourth wave. So, yeah, looking at some of these alts, it's kind of saying that this is potentially over. Okay, now let's take a look at this inside of here. It's very easy to break down a wave structure like this. You look for the connectors and the legs. So I could clearly see we had a move to the upside, which is the connector. We had an initial break of structure, which is your first leg. And then because your first leg needs a partner leg, here's the partner. So this is a 3-wave move. This middle section, right in here, is its connector. And this is first leg and partner leg. It's a 3-wave move. Over here, we had a move to the upside, which was 3 waves. We had an initial drop to the downside, which is leg, connector, partner leg. This middle connector is connecting this leg to this leg. Now on linear, it hit the 618, suggesting that this is a total leg that's complete. On log, it's in between the 618 and the 1-to-1. But either way, because the market did not push up in a 5-wave move and continue its trend, okay, from back here, and it made a 3-wave move, now it's made a connector. Can it make this connector bigger? Yes, it can. Just like Bitcoin, it can use this 3 legs, this move to the downside, and try to make connector bigger. If it does that, then it's making this leg bigger. And that is how I feel that it's doing. So 3, 3, and then we would get partner leg for orange to the downside, which could come quite deep if it wants to. At this point, if it doesn't take off in 5 waves, and it does another 3-wave connector, then we're connecting all of this to the connector to the downside, and that's how bear markets happen. So I feel that it needs a partner leg over here, could make connector bigger, and then we'll have to see, does it take off in 5 waves? Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.